Hi guys, on today's episode of Animal Reproduction in the World Today, I will be diving into my Reproductive Pathways assignment for Animal Science 316. For this assignment, I chose option C. For this option, I will be first giving a detailed description of the changes in placental steroidogenesis that occur near parturition. In other words, I will discuss the complete cascade of events induced by fetal stress as discussed in this course. Before getting into the cascade of events, it should be known that the fetus triggers the start of parturition by initiating this cascade of complex, endocrine, biochemical events, and the fetal hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis is obligatory for this initiation of parturition. Now, to start, as gestation concludes, the fetal mass hits the limitations of the uterus. This stimulates adrenal corticotropin, or ACTH, to be secreted by the fetal pituitary. Then, the fetal pituitary stimulates the secretion of adrenal corticoids from the fetal adrenal cortex. This elevation of fetal corticoids initiates a cascade of events causing change in endocrine condition of the mother. Thus, these endocrine changes cause two major events to occur. The first event is the removal of the myometrial progesterone block, which enables myometrial contractions to begin. The removal of the progesterone block is due to fetal cortisol promoting synthesis of three enzymes that convert progesterone, which is produced in the placenta during gestation, into estradiol, which is produced in the placenta as parturition is initiated. The synthesis of the three enzymes occurs in a three-step process. Step 1, progesterone, which is high at the placental interface, is converted to 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone by 17-alpha hydroxylase. Step 2, fetal cortisol triggers enzyme 1720 demylase to convert 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone into androstenedione. Step 3, androstenedione is converted to estradiol by the activation of an aromatase enzyme. This involves the aromatization of the A ring of the steroid and the removal of the 19-carbon. The second major event due to the endocrine changes is an increase of reproductive tract secretions by the cervix. Now, for the second part of this assignment, I will describe and diagram androstenedione and the placental steroids in equines before and after onset of parturition, and I will answer, how effective is this compound to block this steroid to prevent parturition in equines? So, how effective is this compound to block this steroid to prevent parturition in equines? As discussed, androstenedione is one of three key compounds in the process of the removal of the progesterone block and the production of estradiol. It is converted to estradiol by the activation of an aromatase enzyme. Once the compound is converted to estradiol, this accounts in part for the drop in progesterone and the elevation of estradiol. With that, the fetal corticoids also cause the placenta to synthesize PGF2A, also called prostaglandin, which then also helps to abolish the progesterone block. As this estradiol and progesterone elevates, the myometrium becomes increasingly more active and begins contractions. Also, PGF2A causes the CL, or corpus luteum, of pregnancy to regress, which facilitates the decline in progesterone. Based on this background, if a compound were to block androstenedione, this could block that production of estradiol, as androstenedione could not be converted to estradiol. This would result in none of the discussed to happen. There would no longer be the drop in progesterone and the elevation of estradiol, which aids the fetal corticoids in abolishing that progesterone block. The estradiol and progesterone would no longer elevate in the same fashion, and the myometrium would not become increasingly more active and would not begin contractions. The delay of the contractions would then delay parturition, as this delays the first stage of parturition, the initiation of myometrial contractions, and the removal of the progesterone block as defined by the Sanger text. All right, that's all for today. Thank you all for listening. I hope you have a great day. Merry Christmas.